Hello again guys, and today I've got the Galaxy S3, the Samsung's new flagship device. We've got a 4.8 HD pentile display, so not quite a HD plus AMOLED screen, but you really cannot tell any difference. It is a fantastic screen. You've got a 1080p 8 megapixel camera at the back with flash, records at 30 frames per second. And at the front, you've got a 1.9 megapixel camera that is capable of shooting 720p. In terms of its actual size, it isn't that much bigger than the S2. They made a much bigger screen, but in terms of it, they only really added that much to the size of it. So they did a really good job. It's very thin and very light. Right. So you press the lock screen and you're greeted with this, which is TouchWiz. See that nice little ripple effect there to unlock. Now TouchWiz is Samsung's take on what Android should be. It's the skin overlaying Android 4.0.4. If we go to the settings, we'll see that it is Ice Cream Sandwich. There you go, it's 4.0.4. It is due to be upgraded to Jelly Bean very soon, and with all the features that Jelly Beans come with as well, such as Google Now. You can sort. Okay, first we'll look at the notifications. Here you can see TouchWiz adds these toggles, which is very useful. I wish these would come to stock Android, to be honest, and I hope they do in the next version. You can turn on and off everything quickly. Brightness here, notifications come here. It's all very simple and very nice to use straight away from the lock screen, and it's how you want it. Inside this powerhouse is an Exynos chipset 4420, which is quad core, and you can really tell. I mean, this thing just flies. Its GPU is a Mali 400, which is actually the same GPU that they used in the Galaxy S2, but it is overclocked, and this destroys benchmarks, which I will show you a bit later. You can see flicking through the home screens, you know, it is the smoothest handset, Android handset that I've ever used. There is no lag. I mean, look how quick that is. The screen is brilliant. I don't think the camera does it justice to just how good the screen is. Everything is super vibrant. It's fantastic, really. Let's dive into the settings and have a look what we've got that's new. So you can see this very ICS look and feel, but very much TouchWiz as well. You can see the big green icons and the colours. Some people don't like this because they think it looks a bit childish, but each to their own. Motion, this is something that's just for the Galaxy S3. You can see all these different features. Smart Alert is something they really pushed, which what else have we got here? Direct call, so if you're in a text and you decide you want to call the person, you just put it up to your head and it will dial. What else do we have in here? Power saving mode here. Application sync, or the standard developer options. This doesn't usually come with the Galaxy range, but they've given it to you here, so you can force GPU or things like that if you wanted to. But it really doesn't need it. With this, you've got a physical home button down here, which if you hold, you get the ICS task manager, which you can swipe away stuff. You also get a task manager, which you really don't need to touch because Android is now good enough that you don't need to do any of that stuff. So forget that, basically. Phone, that's what the dial looks like. So you probably shouldn't have seen any of that, but that's what the dial looks like. Very clear, very easy to use, you know, just simple stuff. What else have we got here? Let's try out the stock browser and its performance. If we go to the website I like to test a lot of my stuff, which is Engadget. It's loaded the mobile site, but that was very, very quick. Desktop. Let's see how long this takes. And it's still loading, but it's done. I mean, that's very quick. It's very, very the most responsive I've seen an Android device again. Pinch to zoom, very responsive. No checkerboarding. It's all loaded all the time. You can zoom down there, zoom back, and it's all there. At the moment, Flash does work with this because it's 4.0.4, but when it's Jelly Bean, it won't officially work, and there are ways to get it. So the browser is very, very nice on this device. It always has been on the Samsung range. They always hardware accelerate their browsers, which is how it should be, really. Yeah, that's very nice. What else? The camera's made a lot of UI changes here. Can take a picture of something. Dark Knight Rises box. Instant shutter. No problem with that. If we go to review this picture, quickly into the gallery. Facial recognition there. Yeah, just really quick and really nice picture they're taken actually. Loads of detail. I don't know if the camera's seeing all this detail, but there's loads of detail in this 8 megapixel picture. Loads. Right, what else comes with this? Stock YouTube app, but that's the same as everything else. Google Plus. Widgets is just tapping there to get to. It's not like the Nexus device. This just goes round and round the task manager. You have to press the widgets to get to it, which is very different to the Nexus range as it just kind of goes through. I don't know which one I prefer. There's nothing to go nuts about either way. What else do we have here? And you can see there's been no lag since I've been showing you anything here. It's very, very quick. Another default app it comes with, which I think is quite cool, is the video player. When you click this, all the videos you've got on there, they're actually live. They show thumbnail movement, which again is due to the process of being able to handle it. So all these are playing individually, and they're fantastic. If I play one of these, I can show you the quality of the... There is sound, but I've turned it down, but it looks fantastic on a 4.8 HD screen. It's just the sort of device you want to watch stuff on, really. If you press this button here, it actually gives you the opportunity to send it to TVs on your network. Which is quite cool. That actually did just send to the TV in my next room. I don't know if you heard it, but I turned it off quickly because it was loud. Another big thing with the player here, if I pick something like this, is you press this button down here and it pops up over here, and you can do other stuff like email, move this around here, or web surfing, and it's still managing to do it perfectly without any lag. You can switch it over like that. This function is called Pop-Up Play, and it's, if you want it and you don't have a Galaxy S3, you can actually get it now with Dice Player from the market. They actually built it in to to the software, so that's brilliant. So if you want that, go download Dice Player for free. It's a fantastic player. It plays everything I've thrown at it. Other than that, you get a few other Samsung stuff. For example, music player, this is S Planner, all Samsung based things. Showing you the camera, data usage, just normal ICS settings here. Wi-Fi Direct as well. Oops. Wi-Fi Direct, keys obviously, keys. Power saving, I don't actually know what this does. Oh, there you go. Limits the maximum, so probably downclocks your CPU, which this is at maximum performance, it's a 1.4 gigahertz CPU. So if you really need to, you can turn it down, but the battery on this is massive. I can't actually remember the milliamps, but it will easily last you through a day. It's one of the best batteries I've seen. It's huge to power the screen, but it does last all day. The GPS is very, very accurate because it uses both the Russian and the USA satellites, and it gives you a lock within a few seconds. It's fantastic. I mean, the first thing you'll notice is just if you ever used an Android device and you thought maybe it lags a bit, I suggest you use this one because there is no issue with lag here. It's just brilliant. I'll do a few benchmarks, but I'll quickly go through the quadrant one because that's always nice and it's quick. It will just blaze through this. You can see it's nearly through the CPU one already. Show you the frames per second here. 60. Again, I think it just jumped to 72 there, but this is definitely frame capped to 60 frames because this Mali GPU is the best Android GPU at the moment out, so it will smash every game. It gets 26 and 39 here, but I think that's just the software not optimized, because there's no way it should be getting 26 there if it gets 65 here. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, let's look at the result. So we can see here we are powering past the HTC One X with a score of 5,632. The best score there. So, I mean, this just goes to show you a little bit how fast this device is. It smashes the benchmarks, it smashes performance. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that little icon up there with the eye. That actually tracks my eye movement to keep the screen on. So if I'm looking at the screen, it won't turn off. If I don't look at the screen, it will turn off. Just another little feature that Samsung added in there. Valermo benchmark now. This one measures user experience. No, we don't want a tutorial. What's recently been announced is the Galaxy Note 2, which is a 5.5 inch device. It looks pretty similar to this, but it's actually got an overclocked processor, 1.6 gigahertz, and on the benchmarks it has beaten the Galaxy S3. But then it's a 5.5 inch device, so it depends if you can handle such a size. Still getting through this benchmark. I expect this score to be pretty high. I'll talk about the thing while it's doing this. It's plastic, but it feels well built. This is a bit slidey here. I've usually got a case on it, which makes it a bit more protective. It's got Gorilla Glass 2, which is thinner, but apparently meant to be a lot more protective. Whether that's true or not, I do not know. I've heard people have smashed this phone. I mean, if you drop it and it lands on a corner, it's still going to smash. Gorilla Glass is scratch resistant, not smash proof, as people like to think. that's not how it's going to work. So volume rocker here, power button here. Pretty simple design. The physical home button, I actually thought they were going to get rid of this, but they didn't. I'm actually not a fan. I like the way the Galaxy Nexus has done it with on-screen buttons. This, I feel, to me, just feels a bit old-fashioned now, but loads of people like the physical button, so there you go. It does actually have an SD card slot, so you can upgrade it, so you can have absolutely loads of available memory if you need it. It comes with 1GB RAM as well, which is perfect. It's, people say it might need some more, people say it doesn't. This thing doesn't slow down in a way, it doesn't need more RAM. The Android can handle the RAM without a problem. Benchmarks. Nobody likes to watch the benchmarks, but they all want the score at the end, so might as well just wait. So yeah, having the GPU that it has in it, this will smash any available game out in the market now without any problems. It isn't a Tegra chipset, so officially it can't run Tegra games. You can't just download them for the market and play them. Usually there are other versions, but you can't get the Tegra versions. But it could handle them if you could install them, if you know what I mean. There are ways to get the Tegra versions to play on this. You just have to do a search on Google and find out. We're nearly at the end now. It's in the last test here. 10 out of 11, one more to go, the network test. I'm expecting to see quite a high score here. This again was using the A9 architecture. It's quad core. A lot of people were expecting it maybe to use A15, but A15 quad core was just not ready when this was being built. So this is an A9 quad core. Basically the way it either goes at the moment is you get an A9 quad core or an A15 dual core like the S4. And there you go, there's the score, 2022. I can tell you that is a good score. We'll just get the graph here. Well, interestingly enough, it doesn't win. You can see here it comes second to the HTC One XL, running 4.0. I don't know if you've watched my Jelly Bean video on the Nexus S, but when this gets Jelly Bean, I'm like 99% that it will probably rocket to the top of this, because the software will be amazingly optimized more. Jelly Bean's browser is a lot better than the Ice Cream's browser. You can see it still scores very well, like over 2000. The One XL looks like it's probably hitting 2500. So yeah, that's the benchmarks. Sometimes that happens. You see it had to reload the launcher there, so some people might say that more RAM might have helped it. Not always certain that's true. It might just be a bug that they can get out. I don't really know. Play Store here. It's all similar again. There's just no lag on this machine. It's an absolute powerhouse. And these, I can't wait to see these in Android, stock Android. I don't know if we'll ever get them, but I can't wait to see them. Yeah, I don't actually have any games on here at the moment, so I can't show you games, but if you really want to see the gaming performance, leave a comment and I will put games on it and make another video. I don't think there's much else to show you here. Pretty much seen it all, including benchmarks. If you're thinking about getting the S3, don't think anymore, just go out and get it because you won't be disappointed. The main thing is, can you handle the size? I mean, it is a big phone, but once you use it a bit, you actually get used to the size quite quickly. So it's not always an issue. But some people might like a smaller phone, I don't know. You can see the power menu here quickly. Power off, flight mode, restart. So that's my quick review on the Galaxy S3. If you have any questions, please let me know. As always, rate, comment, subscribe. I will be doing another video with the Galaxy S3 when Jelly Bean gets released, and you'll be able to see the differences in the benchmarks through the software optimization. Hope you enjoyed my video. See you later, guys.